Alright, so the sun came out and it has stopped raining, and I've decided to go on another walk. I am going through a little trail I know that's by the Gorge. I'm starting here at Gorge, and I am up way over there on that little spit of land jutting into the gorge. So we've already got some beautiful trees in bloom here, and we're starting at Reverse Falls here, so that the flow of that changes direction depending on whether or not the tide is coming in or going out. I actually managed to fall off my paddleboard in that little spot there last summer because I tried to go through and very definitely was not strong enough to make it through the current, and my board flipped and dumped me into the water. Trying to do everything in landscape this time so that it looks a little bit less like I'm filming on a potato. But yeah, I thought it would be, oh gosh, I wish I could somehow share the smell of that tree with you, the blossoms. That is one of the most heavenly smells I have ever come across in my life. So obviously this pathway is a little louder than the last place I was in. So we've got major street right there, and a major street right there that I just came off of, and it's a little loud with the vehicles right now. The other place was tucked away in a little park, and the only thing around was like either the water or a parking lot. But as we get further along, it should be hopefully a little quieter and a little more peaceful. Maybe you'll be able to hear some of the birds. That was the sky. Last year when I was around here, I actually saw some osprey that were nesting, and that was pretty cool. Gotta get in on the steps. Very nice and tidy little steps. There are other people on this path, and they're probably gonna think it's really weird that I'm wandering around with a cell phone and talking, but you know what? What's life worth living if not for being a little bit weird? It's a beautiful day to be strange. That's what I say. The sun is actually really nice and warm right now. It feels good. Obviously, there's not as much for me to talk about and point out this time, so I'm not gonna chatter too terribly much. I will point out some things that I see that are interesting. And I will try my best not to get any strangers' faces or anything in my video, because that's really just kind of not the point of anything, for one, and for two, it's rude. I love the look of the arbutus trees. They're so smooth. I like to touch them. So you can rub the smooth parts and pet the fuzzy parts. Everybody loves some good moss. Even the moss loves some good moss. This is actually one of the areas that I like to come to for picking blackberries in the autumn. There's a lot of blackberry bushes all through here, and of course they produce like mad, and so few people seem to do like berry picking or foraging or anything these days. At least not within the city, I guess. I don't know. It's a nice little park in here. And this here is actually a community garden. Wonder if I should go through there at all. We'll take a little peek just off the side. Lots of crows today. But I actually used to live pretty much just across the street over there. So I'm quite familiar with the area. You can hear a hummingbird somewhere. But yeah, so I guess people will have their little designated plot and stuff, and they'll grow what they so desire. This looks delicious. Fresh greens. Oh, I wonder what they've got going on in there. I should get some seeds started. I have some green onions that are still growing, actually, from February 2025 is when they were bought. January or February, I can't remember quite which. But planted them in a pot, and they have been growing ever since. Okay, we're gonna leave the gardens here. This is all nice and pretty. Starting to bloom. Ugh, very squishy. Eee, oh, goodness. I don't like this very much. Wow. That is super thick with just dead leaves like this. I mean, it's partly mud, but it's very definitely a whole swamp of dead leaves. Holy goodness, this just does not feel spectacular. Ugh, squishy. Okay. Back on the path. Feels a lot better. Do not inhale things that aren't air. Usually actually a pretty good bit of advice for most of life. Got some more blossoms there. I love the pink snow. I love when you're just standing and the petals are falling by like pretty little warm snowflakes. Ugh, my shoes are all covered in mud. Yuck. I'm gonna have to clean these off before I go inside. Ah, look at that. Beautiful. Pretty little blossoms. So I definitely come paddleboarding up this way, which I did mention because obviously I couldn't flip myself over in reverse falls without being in the area, so it was kind of redundant. Anybody that knows me though understands. Over explanations with Jen. So this is Curtis Point. rabbits. Probably things climb up here to eat their clams. Probably mostly the crows, but I can imagine when this place is less populated, it's a nice spot for the otters as well. So in the summer, this is a really, really popular area for people to be swimming and sunbathing. It can get really loud down here. Wee little flowers. This is off the other side. So many old weathered looking trees. And everything grows moss. If it is stationary and it is above sea level, it is most likely going to grow moss. So the tide is definitely coming in right now, and it's already up fairly high, so I don't think we're gonna see anything interesting in the water. Even though the water is kind of interesting all on its own. Whoa. Let's see what's over here. Barnacles all over the place, for one. Oh no! Well, I guess that washes my shoes. Wow, that's a lot more slippery than I thought it was. Whoa. Good grief. At least I didn't go all the way in. That could have been really deep. Well, let's maybe get ourselves back higher up where the rocks aren't as slippery. Okay. Well, I suppose that's it for my adventure. My socks actually are barely even wet. I managed to keep myself out of that pretty well. But yeah, so just another beautiful view, another adventure with Jen. I have survived, and I guess join me on the next one, and we'll see you again soon.